When we plan to improve ourselves or grow a business, we most likely set very dramatic goals, such as run 10 kilometers a day or grow a business 10x a month. That is clearly not sustainable, right? And there's a better approach. What you need is small incremental results that add up over time and give you massive returns in the future. So essentially, results that compound with time, right? And the phenomena of compounding is so counterintuitive that it befuddles everybody. It's very hard to wrap your head around the idea that tiny changes in the present can give out such massive results in the future. For example, in the history of the earth, there were five major ice ages. And if I were to ask you what led to these ice ages, you would most likely say long and hard winters. But that was not the case. What started it off was one fine, cool summer when it didn't get warm enough to melt away previous winter snow. And what started off is a chain reaction when the further continuous summers it didn't get warm enough to melt away the accumulated snow, and snow gathered and gathered, and give it a few hundred years, and suddenly we have got the earth covered in 3 to 4 kilometers thick sheet of ice. And if you think about it, one fine summer that nobody thinks of anything suddenly leads to the whole earth getting covered in this kilometers thick sheet of ice, which is mind boggling, right? And that is how compounding essentially works. To give you one more example, I'll take the case of Warren Buffett. So he's a phenomenal investor, no doubt, and people discuss a lot about his investing acumen and his strategies, his mental models. But very few people mention the fact that he's been investing since he was 10 years old, right? And he's been in the game, he's been compounding results for the past 75 years, which is like huge, tremendous, right? And let's do a thought experiment. If Buffett didn't start investing at the age of 10, and in his 20s he went out to travel and explore the world to soul search and get to know everybody, and then get started with serious investing at the age of 30, right? And at the age of 60, he decides, hey, I've done enough. I want to spend time with my friends and family and my grandkids, so I would retire. Then with his annual returns of 22%, he would have accumulated only $12 million, which is, if you think about it, kind of a rounding error from his net asset of $85 billion, right? So investing, being a good investor is not enough. What you have to do is give it some time. And when you think in terms of returns, Buffett is not the greatest investor of all, because there are major hedge fund managers who give out 2 to 3x more returns than Buffett on a yearly basis. But the difference is that their net asset is not as huge as Buffett, because they've been in the business only for a couple of decades, whereas Buffett has been here for 75 years, which is like very close to a century, which is again huge, right? And that is the secret, right? You have to make enough money to sustain on a day-to-day basis, but you have to stay in the game long enough to give tremendous results in the future. So time has to be your friend. So in that aspect, investment is a skill set Buffett has, but his secret is time, right? Which nobody somehow acknowledges. To give you one more example, Paul Graham, the founder of the startup accelerator Y Combinator, is fond of saying that a startup is a company that is designed to grow fast, right? And that is true, but a lot of people take it at face value and do not understand the deeper meaning in it, right? You have to grow fast, but you have to do it over a long period of time, right? If a company grows, say 1% a week, then after a year it'll grow only 1.7x, right? And if another company grows at say 5% a week, then after a year it'll grow somewhere around 12.6x. But if a company grows 10% a week, then after a year you have a growth of 142x, which is like massive, right? And small little changes in the present can give you massive outcomes in the future. The problem is that most startups die before living on for 2 years. They focus so much on growth that they hamper their survival, and that is the problem, right? Breakneck speed, breakneck growth is good, but it cannot be at the cost of survival, because you have to play the game. You have to be in the game long enough for compound interest to kick in. So what you need is a bare minimum amount of growth that can give you significant amount of result in the future. For example, 1% growth a week may not be enough to give you good returns after 4 years, but if you can grow say 5%, or if not 10, maybe 7%, you are good to go after 4 to 5 years, right? So compound interest is something that doesn't give you value in the first 1 or 2 years, but it starts giving tremendous results after say 5 to 10 years, and it goes on giving results like which essentially compound with time. So the longer you stay, the longer, the more beneficial you are, and so it goes on to give you results to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and up to 100 years, right? So that is the whole idea of today, that stay in the game, do not focus on maximum returns, do focus on the bare minimum returns you are okay with. For example, if you are investing in the stock market, do not aim for like 50% returns. Maybe 15% is good enough, or if not, maybe 12% is still good enough, but do it for a long amount of time. Make sure you do not lose money, right? Stay in the game, focus on your health so you can live longer, so that eventually you live to your 90s or 100s and see like massive results. And start off with say, I don't know, $1,000, and make sure that you compound it like 15% annually, and see what it leads to if you reach your 90 or your 100th birthday, right? That is all for today. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you soon. Till then, peace.